Oh wow, I was so excited for this video that I forgot to film it until it got really dark. Points for me for being an awesome booktuber. Hello beautiful bookworms, my name is Katarina and welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to do something that I normally don't do, but I decided to just roll with all of the enthusiasm that comes from me reading some sort of things. So yeah, I will explain without further ado my real video and stop doing intros because you suck at it. So my plan, and I hope that this goes as I plan, is that today, on the day that you are watching this video, I would be releasing two videos at the same time, sort of. And they would be this video, which is going to be kind of a spoiler-free review of The Fellowship of the Ring by J.R.R. Tolkien, and the other video is going to be like a sort of vlog-ish video of me talking spoilers of The Fellowship of the Ring and telling you how I felt while reading it, which is something that I wanted to do for the Lord of the Rings trilogy, so I'm going to do the same for the rest of the trilogy for the next two books. But I decided that if you don't want to sit through 1 hour and 40 minutes of your life watching me talk about the Lord of the Rings, namely The Fellowship of the Ring, maybe I should just give you a non-spoiler review of The Fellowship of the Ring and what I thought about it. So, welcome to that video, and I will leave the other one linked down below if by some miracle he stops editing before midnight, because he's currently at, well, less than 50% and it's almost night. So, this is not going to work out the way that I planned it, but when he's edited, I will post it. So I hope that you guys enjoy that video and this video as well. And without further ado, let's go into the review. So as I said, this video is going to be my spoiler-free review for The Fellowship of the Ring by J.R.R. Tolkien. And what's important is to you guys to know, is that I actually never read the books. This is my first time reading the books. And I have watched the movie when I was like 11 years old, possibly, for the first time, and then I never watched them again. So, I got marked by that, and I love that fandom, and I love being a part of the Lord of the Rings world, but just now I'm feeling that I'm discovering so many more things that I didn't know that existed, and this book for me was a total surprise, because everyone and their mothers told me that this was very descriptive and that I would not enjoy it as much as I thought I would. And in a way, they were right. This is actually very descriptive, and I did notice that the pace was really slow. But in another way, they were very wrong, because I believe that for what this is, which is one of the greatest high fantasy novels that I've ever read in my life, that's the pacing for it, everybody. High fantasy novels define themselves by building a world that doesn't exist or that no one has ever seen, and for that matter, you have to create that world, and your readers have to see that world and to feel transported into that world, which is something that Tolkien does beautifully. And another thing that happens in high fantasy books is that you have species that are not only or are not human species, which means that you have to characterize those species and tell, well, the person that is reading, the reader, what they are and how they are and what they look like and how do they live and what's their culture and everything like that. And I think that people saying that Tolkien spends a lot of time in this is actually a compliment, because why shouldn't he? I mean, he created the hobbits, he created the elfish language, he pretty much created elves and orcs and dwarves and everything that we know now being that sort of fantasy mythology thingy. He created it, so why not spend a lot of time describing this? And obviously it has its perks and it has its low key moments, mainly the fact that the main character of this book is dumb as hell, and I am sorry, but I am not a Frodo person. I don't know if I said this before in my Hobbit review, I will leave it linked down below, but I enjoy Bilbo way more than Frodo, because for some reason Frodo ticks my chords, you know? He's not, I cannot empathize with him for some reason. Like, I feel like he takes things seriously, but he doesn't at the same time, and he's just lost in the world. And I know that for Hobbit standards he's very young, but I also know that he's not that great of a character in a way. Like, he's great because I can feel this towards him, so if I felt nothing, he would be a piece of shit character. But the fact that I don't empathize with him just helps me focus a lot on the environment, on the other characters that are actually pretty amazing, and in the cultures, and in the genealogy, and in the freaking world. So, first of all, you have Tolkien created something magnificent, which is you have a journey book. And for that, it is important to describe the landscape and everything like that. So for me, that was amazing. And I loved reading about the landscape. I loved reading about the stories of the world, that you would pick up a little bits and pieces of that. And I loved it. But for another way, you have a story, as I said in my Hobbit review, that has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And although I haven't read the middle and the end, the first book is really a very good beginning. So what we have here is the start of a journey, the start of a story, and a story with 9 people, or a fellowship, as you probably know, that go and try to just destroy this enemy, this person that is darkness incarnated in a way, and that is evil and just wants to do what is evil and destroy everything in their power, and to just rule over all of the Middle Earth. And for that reason, you have, firstly, a very compelling writing. Second, very cool characters because they are sassy, they are badass, and although I don't really enjoy the main character, I can see the perks of writing a main character like this. And obviously, the main character's friends are the best, obviously, because they're the characters that will be there throughout the journey, and you even have the perk of being able to choose, like, which ones do you like best and why, and point the good things and the bad things of the characters. And then after that, you have moral conflict, which is also great between all of the characters. You have sacrifices that people do. You have you have so many stuff. You have a compendium of fantasy, and this is just such an amazing book that I can't express into words without spoilers how much I love this. But if you haven't read The Lord of the Rings for some reason, because you're scared of the size, or you're scared of anything like that, I can assure you that if you read this as a journey, you will enjoy this way more than anyone could ever tell you that you would, because this is great. This is a pinnacle of fantasy. This is amazing, and I am so sad I haven't read this before, because this is great. And I, as a lover of fantasy, my heart was just struck when I read this, and I actually cried reading The Fellowship of the Ring. Like, not ugly crying, sobbing, but some tears run through my cheeks because of the descriptions of some songs in here. And you have some art, you have songs, you have beautiful language, you have everything. And my only regret is that I'm not reading this in English, because this in English must be one of the greatest books ever written, ever. So if you can understand by all of my rambling, I promise that I do specify a lot of things that I enjoy more about this book in my spoilery section video of 1 hour and 14 minutes. And you don't have to watch 1 hour and 40 minutes. You can just go straight and see the parts that you want to see. I explain myself better, but basically this is the story of a journey, the story about this hobbit that gets in his inheritance a ring that can turn him invisible, and that it's basically the ring that this enemy, this ruler of darkness, wants to use to control an entire earth. And so his mission is to destroy him in black fires and dark fires, and he goes on a journey, and there's a team put together to help him, and things go on from there. And I don't know what to tell you more from this book, except go read it, or reread it, or go watch the movies again, or do something, because this is worth it. So worth it, and I am so happy that I picked this up, like, really happy. So that is all for today, guys. If you actually read The Lord of the Rings, obviously you must, probably. Tell me something in the comments down below if you like it, if you didn't, if you agree with my opinions about Frodo or not, and please don't take it personally, because I do appreciate the character, I just don't enjoy him a lot, and I think that that's an opinion, and I am entitled to one. So yeah, so that is all for today, guys, and happy readings to you all. Bye!